Hey guys, Jimmy here and welcome back to TT the Isle of Man for another video. In today's video we are back at the Isle of Man circuit to try and complete another full lap, all 60 kilometers of it, but this time with one key difference. That's right, with the exception of brake method, which is still set to combine, I'm going to be trying to complete a lap around here with absolutely no assists. Apart from being a word that's hilarious to try and say with a lisp, no assists mean that I have no ABS, no traction control, no anti-wheelie, no anti-stoppie, and most importantly, no racing line. So I have to try and memorise the circuit, which has been very difficult. I've done a lot of practice and haven't really got much better. For this attempt, I'm going to be using the lesser of two evils and going for a super sport bike as opposed to a super bike. These super sports are a little bit less powerful, a little bit easier to manoeuvre and control, so for an attempt like this sort of bike is perfect. But I know you impatient internet boys hate long intros, so let's get straight into it. Right, so here we are then, start of our lap. My goal is to try and get underneath 20 minutes. I foresee us crashing quite a lot on this lap because riding one of these things, or with a gamepad anyway, is quite difficult. You obviously have no feel for what the bike is doing, so I'm doing it all visually and by, well, some mild vibration in the gamepad, so we're probably going to fall off quite a lot. But anyway, here we go. First thing you might notice, well you won't notice it actually because I am stopping it, is that we do have to shift our rider position at low speed, otherwise we are in danger of wheeling a bit. Quite a lot. You can quite easily just lose the bike to a wheelie. But anyway, let's start our lap over the start-finish line then, under the old monster sign. That'll be nice and smooth downhill here, past St Ninian's Crossroads. There it is. Now down to Bray Hill. Again, the most iconic scene at the TT, I think. But with a blend of the throttle there. Just keep my weight forward over these two jumps to make sure we don't lift up too much. Now, soft through here. I'm using the engine to slow down as much as possible before getting to a straight line, coming down to quarter bridge. Down to first gear. Nice and soft on the way in on the throttle. Okay, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. I have been doing my best to get better at this game because it's very horrible for me as a person who does racing YouTube videos to be bad at a racing game. So I have been practicing. I'm still not great, but I'm coming on, which is the important thing. Just thought I'd just leave a bit of my helmet there on that fence. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm getting better. Immediately headbutts the fence. I'll be very cautious on this lap. There's a lot of things that can kill you around here. The worst thing is probably the elevation changes, but you just have to know when they come, unfortunately. If you don't know the circuit back to front, you do run the risk of actually coming off quite a lot. So quite slow through here. Just a dab of the brake on the way in, just a tiny one. Then set it up and get on the throttle. I'm finding a lot of riding a bike is anticipation, and people are like, oh Jimmy, you aren't really riding a bike. Yes, I know, I'm just using the terminology because we're in the game. But it all seems to be about anticipating corners and doing things that way, whereas in the car it's much more reaction. This is much more setting things up before you even get to a point where things can get scary. So, long right-hander here. Again, just backing off the throttle, then back on again. These 600s are a lot less, they're still incredibly quick. We're still doing nearly 300 Ks, and of course the sensor speed is still pretty ridiculous. But just a lot less brutal than the bigger bikes. Which again makes this sort of thing a bit easier. I wouldn't like to try this challenge with one of these super bikes. I'll just end up crashing very quickly, I think. So it gets a bit strange through here. A lot of elevation changes, and it's very fast, and it sort of slows down gradually, and you have to make sure you're doing the right speed, otherwise things get very dangerous very quickly. So again, just back 2 gears. Again, dab of the brakes here before turning in. This is a very difficult corner because of the elevation on the exit of that dip, that crest. And you'll hear me talk about elevation a lot on this, because if this were a flat circuit, it would be a ton easier, but it's not. Of course, that's one of the main challenges of the TT. And I must say that I'm really enjoying learning about something that I don't really know much about. It's really nice to expand your knowledge into something it can be uncomfortable not to know, to be ignorant of a subject. So it's very nice to try and become a bit more knowledgeable. So not a bad start so far, a bit close to the curve for my liking there. There's a sector up here that I've been practicing quite a bit. Now, coming up to Barracray, now I brake just at this blue bit here, heavy on the brakes, Bit late, actually. Bit late. Just about. Sorry, Balacrane. I said Barracrane. Balacrane. That was a bit late. Usually I lift a little bit before braking, which is why I carried a bit too much speed into there. So I'm starting to get to the point now where there are a couple of places in the circuit where I have references for, which is, again, very difficult when the circuit is 60 kilometers long. Yeah, there is a really nice option on this where you can learn it in sections. This is a section that I'm having most trouble with, so I'm going to go slow through here because there's a lot of crests that leading to sort of tighter corners, and it makes things very tricky. It might look like I'm really pussyfooting it around here. That's because I am. My record so far is, I think, getting to this corner without coming off. So I'd like to try and get past that. There you go. World record, boys. This is a very deceptive corner. You can take a lot more speed through here than you usually do. Again, I was deceived, so I ruined it. Oh no, that's going to be a crash. No, it's not. Slow, slow, slow. It's very hard to describe the movements of a bike. They're very fluid compared to that of a car. Cars can be quite jagged in your reactions and your movements and still react pretty well. These things, you have to be so smooth. You have to. It's like a dance through the corners. And unfortunately, I can't dance. So you end up having quite a few crashes quite often. Now coming onto this straight here, there's a little over a crest, right-hander, which is slower than you think it is. You can still carry a bit of speed through there if you're brave. That's just here, going to go down one, or back one I should say. Bring it into the curb. Over the crest again, the front of the bike gets loose. You see that a lot in the real life footage. The front wheel is barely on the ground. It's quite spectacular to watch. What do you reckon, guys? Should we get a real life TT Isle of Man comparison video on? No, that's not. Down the hill. Okay, softly. I know I'm being slow right now, but this is the furthest I've ever got without falling off with no assist. So we're on a world record lap right now, lads. But saying that, I've seen other people do laps around here, and like they're just unbelievably good at this game. Okay, just accelerating towards that national limit sign there. Now there's a little kink down here, I believe. The bike sort of wants to come into the wall like that. There it goes. I've actually headbutted that wall once on the left. Wouldn't recommend. Sort of ruins your flow a little bit. I'm short shifting a bit. I don't really know why. Just a dab of the brakes there. I found myself over speeding into that, so I got into a straight line and then hit the brakes. That's the thing with this. You have to brake in a straight line. You brake whilst trying to corner, you just go down. And again, as a car guy, that is something that I'm having to drill into my mind. It's a completely different kettle of fish, this. Again, big respect to the guys who can do this in real life. You've got a lot of talent on me. Now my favourite part of the course, Kurt Michael. Really satisfying when you get this bit right. Usually you end up in a house if you get it wrong. One way to find a housemate, I guess. That was a bit soft through there. This whole section, oh, on the curb, that in real life that would have been dead straight away. So this section likes a bit of an easier handle. I could go a lot faster through here. I'm using the gears. Nearly went over the back of it then. I'm using the gears a lot to slow me down, which is why I'm in such a low gear a lot of the time. Now I'm fairly sure we have a bridge coming up soon that you have to slow down for. Fun fact, when practicing for this, I ended up in the wall of the pub. The pub's called the Raven, and I only know that because my character was pretty much lodged in the sign during the practice. Trying to be very wary of his curb. I'm a bit too far to the right there. Again, the sense of speed in this game with all the trees around is absolutely fantastic. I do enjoy it. It gives you just a small glimpse to what it's like to do this in real life. Right, here's the bridge. Slow right down. I'm being so cautious. There's the Raven. Oh no. Oh no, the first death in the wall. Tried to enter someone's house. I took that too fast, but we got pretty far there without any assists and crashing. So only one death so far, but we always know in this game, once there's been one crash, the rest seem to come easier, shall we say. Roblox death sound effect on standby. Oh no. So now I'm sort of trying to rack my brains for memory as to where we are. This part of the course to me looks quite similar to a lot of the rest of it, but that's what happens when you don't know a track. It all sort of blends into one, and there we go. I've done that before. I just hit the brakes on the way in, and I just turned a tiny bit, and there you go. Within a minute, we've crashed twice. And crashing in the high-speed section, for lap time anyway, not in real life, obviously. Yeah, you don't need to know what happens. Well, you know what happens, so I don't need to tell you, rather. But in the game, if you crash in the high-speed section, there goes any good lap time. You've lost a lot of time. Because pulling away in first gear, these bikes are not fast. They're all geared for the high-end stuff. As you're seeing now, I'm pretty sure there's I want to say there's a tight corner coming up now. Yes, Solby Bridge. I'm so cautious. I just don't want to fall off again. I don't want to be hurt no more. And then there I forgot to put my rider's weight forward. There's so much to think about when you're doing this. I just don't have the muscle memory for it at the moment. I should have hit the brakes. Don't. Oh, god damn it. You know, because the bike starts sliding at the rear and you're just a passenger at that point. Damn it, this was a really good run up until now, but my sub 20-minute goal is still on, I think, so we'll go with that. Pretty sure I hit that wall last time. And I want to very quickly just address the last video that I put up of this. For some reason it has like 300,000 views. I don't really know why. I guess YouTube was feeling generous that day. And a lot of people, you know, once the video gets that popular, a lot of people start getting very angry and very twatty and my favourite comment is like, oh, be a man, do it in real life. My response to that is no, I don't want to do it in real life. It's very scary. The premise of a video game is I can do what I maybe am too afraid to do in real life in a game, and that's what I'm choosing to do. I've got enough respect for these guys that I understand the challenges is in real life. Well, I don't understand it, but I can appreciate it. And that's enough for me as a car guy. I'm not a bike guy. If I was a bike guy, maybe I would give it a go, but I'm not, so. Oh, okay. That's something else as well. Transitioning on a bike from left to right is slow. Again, it's part of that dance I was talking about earlier. You have to know what's coming, anticipate it, and put your bike in the right place. If you react to a corner, you're just too late. And you find yourself, well, doing what I do a lot and just crashing or going wide. That was nice-ish. So, Parliament Square, tight right now. So that was okay. I think we lose a lot of time on braking because I'm just not very confident with it at all, especially without ABS. It's in those low acceleration zones that you really see the difference between the oh! No! Hey, friends! That woman was just like, yeah, well done. It's in the low acceleration zones that you really see the difference between the 600s and the 1000 plus bikes. There's just more pull, more torque, as you would expect from a bigger displacement engine. The hairpin coming up. Down to first, braking in a straight line. Round softly on the throttle, don't want to get any wheel spin coming out of there. So we're coming up now, climbing the mountain now. Funnily enough, the mountain feels a lot faster when you don't have the racing line on, because the racing line is telling you to slow down a lot when you don't need to. Don't hit anything apart from that wall, that's fine. I'm getting a bit rubbish with the brakes now. I need to get back on what I was doing at the start of the lap. You can tell that I've had a lot of failed attempts because I'm a lot better at the start of the lap than I am at the end of the lap, which means I need a bit more practice, really. I think this is a gooseneck here. It is. I'm learning. Okay, soft on the throttle. Let's soft on the throttle, Jimmy. Just that front wheel is just eager to not be on the ground ever. I like this section because you can see quite far ahead A lot of the rest of the track is concealed by trees, etc. This one not as much, so the further you can see ahead, the more confident you feel. Just lifting off the throttle there for that left-hander. Oh, on the grass slightly, brake in a straight line. Bring it in. Come on, bring it. Oh, nice. Okay, we didn't die. This must look so messy to those who are in the know, and I'm sorry. But again, bear in mind, this is my first attempt, or first full attempt of doing a full lap around here with no assists whatsoever. So I don't think I'm doing too bad. He says, trying to make himself feel better. Oh man, this is fast. This is where the racing line takes you to slow down normally. Now, I know there's a left coming up here somewhere. Okay, there it is. Back a couple. Now the exit is where I've crashed a lot, so I'm going to just be nice and tight here. Oh, it keeps going. Oh no, there's the exit. I think that's where it gets me usually. Didn't Hutchinson crash around here? I recently watched that 2011 documentary. Is it Riding on the Edge or something like that? I watched that the other day, and like, first of all I was amazed, and secondly, like, some of the crashes, ooh, they really make you wince, you know. Now this bit is the last section, so we're in the last third of the circuit now. Again, I like to think this sort of mountain section is probably one of the easier parts of the circuit on the game anyway, as I nearly crash, just because you can see so far ahead. And back couple, dab on the brakes, second gear, trying to move the bike to the right here. And even up here, the sense of speed, just with the bushes and the fences whizzing by in your peripheral vision, it's cool, man. Well, cool to me as a dweeb. Okay, I just died. I just dabbed the brakes in the wrong place. No, don't wheelie. That's frustrating. I really didn't want to crash in this section. But I didn't want to crash at all, really. But now I know there's a tighter corner around here somewhere. The scary bit is like letting the bike roll into a corner and hoping that it'll just stick. Okay, that was all right. I mean, we are hemorrhaging. There you go. That took a couple of attempts to say. We're hemorrhaging speed. Whatever. We are losing speed at every corner. Because I'm just not confident in what I'm doing. But I'm hoping it's giving you guys an idea of this game can be quite difficult if you are just a simple pleb like me. Speaking of difficult, we're going to crash here probably. Okay, but this corner tightens up again down here. Again, very easy to crash, so I'm going to just roll it through. There you go. So coming down now to this bar, which has a name that I can't pronounce. Front wheel is always trying to get off the ground. Because it's a nice straight line braking zone, we can use our brakes and not have to rely on engine braking. That's really weird there, because the road cambers in quite a bit. So you do your best not to get caught in the camber. Okay, this is the fast bit. I think that's the nicest corner I've done this entire track, and the reason is just so I can see where I'm going. Oh man, this is so fast down here. Back a couple of gears. Should be back on the throttle there in anger, but I'm still learning the circuit now. I think it'll be interesting at some point to show, if I ever get to the point where I can like lap round here in the same way that say I can lap the North side, it'd be really nice to do a video and be like, look at the difference of track knowledge, you know. I sort of know we have the horrible hairpin coming up. Our sub 20 minutes is still looking good at this point. Oh no. Oh, I nearly just grabbed the curb there in the exit. Now, I've only... I knew when I turned in I wasn't going to make that. I was about to say I've only ever made this hairpin once, so let's try and make it twice, especially given that I just bottled it there. Right, so first gear, nice and wide, back in. Yes, 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 that'll do! That'll do! I was too fast going in, but we still made it. So it still counts. That bit's so difficult with the bike tries to lift up. Right, we're going to be sub 20 minutes, sub 19:15, no, maybe. Here we go. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Nice! And 19:11 is a terrible time at this circuit, but for my first attempt with 0 assists whatsoever, I'm pretty happy with that. So guys, hope you enjoyed that video. Sorry that I'm so awful. If you did enjoy it, make sure to hit that like button and maybe hit the subscribe button as well. You know, why not? Also, if you do like actually being up to date on my uploads, hit the little bell icon. That way, whenever I put up a video or stream, you get a nice little notification so you don't miss anything. Anyway guys, take care, have an awesome day. I'll see you all next time.